I'm so blessed to meet a lot of good visual artists. Most of the time, I go to their exhibits and galleries. So I thought, for a change, how about visiting them at home, in their workplace, their studios? And so now I'm visiting Marge Organo's studio. For those of you who are not too familiar with our Marge, Marge is a sculptress. She uses glass and now considered one of the top 5 sculptors here in the Philippines. So let's see how she does her work in her space. And here she is, Marge.
Yeah, I'm not dressed for the occasion.
You normally are always.
I don't even have makeup or just lipstick. You didn't tell me that you're gonna take a video.
Oh, this is you at home.
This
in
is
your
so embarrassing.
No, you're lovely anyway. So here, this is your
Thank you.
studio. Tell us about it. So,
This is my studio.
yun.
Okay.
Ito yung mga
This has been covered
kaibigan,
before.
mga workers niya. Ayan.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
mahiya.
vacation time ngayon. This is Thursday. This
Oo.
Monday Thursday. So there's no work today. These are the machines that I use. So
okay.
these machines. So you just imagine that each glass has to go through all this process.
Okay. So these are
Before.
different machines.
They are similar, but they have different
Functions.
You know, like
Yeah.
the grit.
Oh.
You have finer grit. You have
What does grit mean?
grit is the size of the sand.
Ah.
It's the size of the sand that grinds the glass.
So glass is made of sand, isn't it? No?
It's silica sand, but then when the glass is in its raw form, we
Yes.
cut it with the. I will show you the diamond saw later. Then from there, it goes to rough grit. Rough
Okay.
grit is like 100 grit. Those are thicker grits. And then it goes to 220 grit, which is finer. And then it becomes finer to 400 to 600. And then it goes to the cerium, to the polishing. But before we do each part, if we like put designs in it, it has to go through all that process again. So each side goes through 100, 220, 400, 600. Maybe if we think that we have to use 800, 1,000, 1,500 grit, it depends on the
So it's a
design.
long
It is a
process.
long process.
Wow.
So that's each side. It goes for each side. So each facet of the glass, you have to go through that process. So if you have like 100 facets, you have to go through all the processes for all those facets.
Oh, it's so technical, but I guess when we see later on
Yeah,
how
I'll
you
tell
work.
you what a facet
Okay.
is.
Diamond. You're like making diamond in a
Yes.
sense, right?
That's why in the future I want to buy a machine that will make facets easier for us.
Wow.
A facet is like this, for example. It's like this is one facet.
Ah.
So each of these will have to go through all that process.
Wow.
So like this one,
Ilang facets to?
it is
Multiple, oh.
difficult. Yeah, we had to put all those holes also. We call this the lenses. Well, I devised my own term for each because it's easier to explain to the workers how we will do it. Like for a certain design, I would say, okay, on this side, I put pen
you drawing?
design, yes. And then I say, okay, I want a channel on this. So channel will mean something like this is a channel. This, no, this one. This is a channel.
Ah.
This is a facet. This is part of commissioned work that I'm doing right now. And if you look at this is multiple facets.
Oh, para siyang diamond. Oh. This one.
So it's gonna be like a human form later.
Oh, really?
So I realized that you don't just do a different glass technique in order to come up with the design that you want. I was telling myself, I can do anything with the glass as long as I'm patient enough to put all those designs in it. So in my next solo show, which is in May, I'm coming up with a whole new collection of human forms.
Oh, wonderful.
Human forms for my cold working. These are some, and the jewelry, and these are some that I'm making.
Look at
And that's not all. I have some more machines in there. I built that from the instruction of my teacher in New York.
that. You're a good
Yeah.
student. You remember everything.
I think so. Yeah, they like me. I'm Miss Congeniality. So in a way, I'm able to persuade them to teach me the secrets.
Uh-huh.
So what my teacher did is he took a video of the machine that he's using in his home studio.
And you replicated.
Yes.
Grabe.
He taught me how to do it. So I got some people, I put them together, and I asked them where we can buy. So we got like surplus motor
Yeah.
from the surplus suppliers. We were able to get some US manufactured.
What's this? What kind of machine is this?
This is a lathe. This is a glass lathe. We call it a glass lathe. In order for us, when I was studying in New York, in order to make something like this, we would do the glass this way. So it's a lathe. It's going to put the
I
designs.
see.
So, but this is not just one. You have to change this to a finer grit again. Just like everything else, we go through all the grits.
I see.
You go through the bigger grits and then go to the finer ones until you go to the polishing. So in order, this is how the glass comes. Originally, this is how it looks like.
Ah,
But
siyang
these
block-
are big blocks.
Blocks lang siya.
Yeah.
Ah.
This is how they come. But once you cut them with the diamond saw, it becomes opaque.
Yes.
So in order for us to go to come to this brilliant shine, we have to go through the process. So it's not that easy like that. This is my diamond saw.
Wow.
This is what I use to cut glass.
Wow.
So everything is like water fed. Because if you don't use water, the glass is going to crack.
Oh, I see.
So that was my first one. But because I needed a bigger diamond saw for the bigger blocks, I imported this from China na. Kasi it's too expensive importing from the US. Everything you import from the US is like 5 times
Wow.
the price. But you see, if they say the quality is low in China, but if you want to pay good money, then they can also give you good quality.
Yeah.
And I've been using this for like years already, so
Works for you. It works
yeah,
for you.
it does. And I have this guy who is a handyman who takes care of like if there's some defective parts that it's easy for him to fix naman. So it's not like nothing major. I use a lot of.
What's happening here?
This is what I made yesterday. I'm going to make this into human body
Oh.
later.
So you create muna this whole
Yes,
image.
yes. And before we can do this, we have to polish the glass like so smooth like
Parang
this.
siyang
first.
sandwich. It's in between, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where I put the color. So in order for me to be able to laminate the glass, this is the lamination process,
Yeah.
where you put the glass together using a glue. In order for me to be able to laminate this, I have to make it smooth like this first. Then I laminate, and then when we cut it again, it's going to be opaque again, so it has to go through the same process again.
Grabe.
So all of these. Some of the methods that I'm using now, I experimented on my own. I didn't learn in school already because if the need arises, how do you call that? Necessity is the father of invention,
That's
right?
right. So you.
So I was able to devise some shortcuts in order for me to work faster.
Yeah.
And I use a lot of compressors because I use a lot of air tools. The pneumatic, they call it pneumatic tools. The pneumatic grinders is air operated.
This is like a man's
It is,
job.
it is.
It's like you're doing a workshop.
Yes,
Talagang,
it is.
You have
That's
to have
why
guts to do this, Marge.
People are really surprised because when I go to the mall, like
Oo.
even in the US, I go straight to the tools department, which is not normal for a female to do. Like we normally go to the to the clothes and
Alright.
bags and shoes. No, I go directly to the tools department and check out what are the latest tools. And if I see something like different, even if I don't know how to use it, I buy it because in the future, and I store it like somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I know that in the future I'll be able to use it.
Awesome.
So I buy all kinds of tools. So this one, I bought this, but I never used it. But I know that sometime in the future,
Anong nagagawa nito?
kasi belt ito eh.
Oh.
This is it's a belt that in order for the glass not to have cracks, you have to put it in the belt. Like you put, it's not a facet. Oh my God, I forgot. Senior moments. You have to smooth the ends
Yes.
so that it's not sharp. So if it's sharp, it's very prone to breakage. So we have to put the sharp ends in the belt first. But I didn't know where to buy the belt here in the Philippines, so I haven't used it yet. And besides, we have devised a way to smooth out the side without using the belt already.
I see.
These are polishing pads
Okay.
for the lap grinders that I bought in the US before. But I was able to devise a way to not use them anymore because I found a shortcut already. It's experience.
Later on, it's gonna be much easier, no? I mean, you're gonna cut the
it's-
process.
Oh, it's a lot easier now.
Yeah.
Like when I was studying, it's very discouraging because you know that you have to do all of those steps.
Yeah.
But now we've found a way to shorten the method already. So we're working faster and we're coming up with more designs. Like before, I didn't know how to make curve. I didn't know how to make so much designs. We were just like, everything was like flat and geometric.
Yeah.
Now I have waves. I have different angles also. So these I designed. I have to customize all this because this is according to need.
Yeah.
If what we use in school, they were like deeper sinks, but with the deeper sink you cannot really work easy.
Yeah.
But that's school use.
Yes.
So in school use, we just use it temporarily. It's not like for long-term use. So eventually, when I discovered, this was just an experiment at first. So I made one first, and then it was comfortable. So I made another one, and we made another one.
It's shallower, so you can
Yes.
control.
Yes, it's easier to work
Right.
with the shallower.
Marge, parang very corrosive yung chemical. You use chemicals or
This is the polishing powder. It's colored orange.
I
Kasi
see.
that's why it's not corrosion. It's the color of the powder.
What's the color about?
Yeah.
So do you work with sensitive material? I mean, chemicals or no naman?
Ang chemicals ko lang, the only chemicals that I use is the lamination.
I see.
The
So it's
glue.
still pretty
The glue.
safe.
It's
pretty safe.
It's safe. Although I advise the workers because the grinding and
You always
the
wear
polishing.
masks.
We have goggles and masks. They wear masks,
Yeah.
but the goggles, they rarely use goggles because it gets in the way. When the water splatters on the glass of the
Yeah,
goggles,
can't see.
they cannot see na. But they're supposed to.
Pero dangerous then to have glass
Siyempre,
dust into your eye.
like
di ba?
when I'm working here, when I'm cutting glass, when I cut glass, we cannot wear long sleeves because it might get in the
Oh,
blade,
yeah.
and then it's more dangerous. So we have to wear like short sleeves, and all the glass splinters go to the
Oh my God.
the arms. That's how dangerous our work is. Okay.
Yeah.
But then you cannot just wipe it off like that. You have to wash it with
With water
water.
also.
Otherwise, you're going to have like
Scratches.
scratches and cuts everywhere.
Grabe.
It's really dangerous, but we're getting the hang of it already.
How many helpers do you
I
have?
have 6, 7, I
Six.
think, and 6 and one who does the repairs of the machines, which they like break all the time because of too much use. And in my school in Corning, we had a glue room.
A
This
glue
is my
room.
glue room.
Dito mo dinidikit-dikit.
Yes, this is what it should be. Like, excuse lang. Wala pa papita to kasi secret.
Okay.
Secret.
Sige, I'll just edit that.
Yeah. This is supposed to be dust free.
Oh, I
But
see.
sometimes I get away with it, and it's where my office is already. This because when you have lots of dust,
Yeah.
the dust will get inside and it will create an ugly part in
Why do you
your.
have a scale? What is it?
Because we have to measure.
Oh, I see.
This is like a science laboratory
Parang
now.
chemist
This is
na.
my Oh well, even if I can show this because when they go to my school, this is
They'll learn.
public knowledge.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You have
this is
trade,
the glue
pero
that
you
I
have naman
use.
trade secrets.
Yeah, this is the glue that I use. It's manufactured by Texas Industries in the US. They're the only ones who manufacture it, so they have a monopoly.
It's for glass, specifically for
I
glass.
order a lot
I
of
see,
this
for
because
glass.
I use a lot. Yeah, it's for glass. It's for glass and metal to
see.
stick together. So don't be surprised if I'm coming up with metal and glass na.
That would be nice. I was just gonna ask you whether you're going to just be limited to glass or you're gonna explore other materials later on.
I've been experimenting, and my chandeliers,
Wow.
my glass chandeliers will be made of glass and metal because I have to
Yes.
attach stainless
Right.
for the hooks and to hook it up to the ceiling. And
You could-
my wall sculptures will be made of glass and stainless steel.
Wow.
Because I have to attach the stainless steel to the glass in order for it to stick to the wall.
Wow.
And some fiber optic lighting and everything. Those are my plans for the future. But it's coming, it's coming. I'm starting to work on them already.
We're so excited. Oh,
Yeah. So after I put the glue I have to measure first
Mm-hmm.
to the specified amount. And we're supposed to be wearing gloves, but I don't because just like my workers, if you cannot feel it, it's not really working. So,
Oh.
and this is the color that we use.
Mhm.
This is specifically made for this glue. So when I color, I mix this with this glue first, and then I put it aside. And when I need the color, that's what I use. But I discovered other colors to make this possible, to make my cosmic designs possible. And after I glue them together, I put it inside this is my heating cabinet.
Para siyang incubator, oh.
Yes, because we have to heat it for like 24 hours.
Oh.
That's one of the setups. I'm supposed to glue that together.
What is the difference between this and, like, say, a kiln? Or that you
No,
talked about?
kiln. I'll show you what the kiln looks like. I have one. I just purchased from the US.
Okay.
Outside. We're going to use for our future projects. But it's just a small kiln.
When do you use a kiln?
A kiln is, you use a kiln to melt glass.
Melt.
This one is not melting glass.
It's to make the glue stick.
Yeah, that one. Just to cure the glue. Pero the kiln is used to melt glass. So, like what I did with the piano, because I don't have a big kiln for that kasi it's a whole big one.
Yeah.
In order to make that, we had to make a model of a piano here, and then I sent it abroad in order for it to be cast. And then they sent it back here, and then I put some of my regular laminated glass to put the designs and everything that the color, and everything that you saw there.
Cool. So, okay, we saw all the technical stuff. Now I'm gonna ask you questions about being an artist, like where you get inspiration. So maybe we can move.
Yes, let's go.
So you just
I
get
bought them
flowers from your garden.
Sometimes, yes, because it's like I want to show myself at least. You
So
know?
you press it, you put
That-
it in the glass.
Yeah, I bought a special presser where the color doesn't go away. It
Yeah,
stays.
yeah, it
You
stays.
press it. I put it in a flower presser, and then I put it in the microwave for like 5 or 10 minutes. It comes out. It's already pressed, and the color is still there.
Wonderful. Yeah,
So-
you've been using a lot of that lately, you know, a lot of flower presses.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been experimenting. Like all my works are an experiment, not not really something that I learned in school, but you know, there are things that you don't learn in school.
That's where
Like,
the artistry comes in.
you go to school, you learn the basics,
And then you
the
take it from
techniques,
there.
and then you improvise and you experiment.
Well, you
And
know,
you
that's what they say
innovate.
about photography. You know, sometimes a lot of photographers don't want to share their techniques of photography, but they don't realize it's not the technique, it's really the eye.
I think so too.
It's the eye.
Like cooking.
Yeah.
When I cook the same recipe from somebody else, sometimes I think mine is better. Always it tastes better.
Thank you, naghanda ka.
No, I made it myself. So
Really?
yeah.
Are you from Ilocos?
Yes, I'm from vegan.
Oh, you know?
The Organo name is vegan.
I see. So you grew up making this.
I grew up eating that.
Okay.
But I think last week I was craving for some vegan empanada and I couldn't find like authentic here
So
anymore.
gumawa ka na
So
lang.
I made my own.
Oh, Richard loves empanada.
You should taste it. It's
Yeah.
really more. It's even better than the original.
Did you grow up? Where in Ilocos are you?
In vegan.
Ah,
I
vegan
went to
talaga.
St. Paul College in vegan. So I was raised more in vegan than in my hometown. Santo Domingo is my father's hometown. That's where our ancestral house is.
I see.
But since my mother is from vegan and my cousins from vegan are closer to me and I studied in vegan as well. So it was like more of a vegan environment for me. I know more people in vegan than from my hometown.
Ilocos is so beautiful. We went there before.
Yes,
It's
thank you.
amazing.
Yes.
Was artistry already in your family early on, or are you the first who came out?
No, the
Being
reason
artist?
that's also the reason why I'm using the Organo name as an artist, because I believe that it's from my mother's side that I got this artistic inclinations. My two uncles were professional painters, like they painted portraits and stuff. But and my brother also painted when he was younger until he joined this competition, and it was like politics that moved, and he believed that he was supposed to be the winner, but the organizer's relatives was the one who won. So it's like psychological. Like he stopped painting from then on.
Oh.
So my kids, they also paint. So these paintings are my kids when they were like 10,
Oh, wow.
10 years old. So I put them there so that I can be reminded that my kids were also artistic when at a certain stage.
Well, that's the great thing about being an artist, because it can lay dormant for a long time but then come out. Which is interesting about your story, kasi that latent artist in you came out late in your career. I mean,
Yeah, but I was always interested in creating stuff. Like when I was younger, I would do. But I didn't know that it was being an artist or anything. I didn't associate it with being an artist at all. It was like, you know, you want to explore when you're young. You want to explore things that you design. I designed clothes. I designed clothes for myself because it was hard to dress me up when I was young. I was bigger than the rest of my classmates. My mom used to shop at the ladies' department when I was a kid, because the children's clothes won't fit me.
Okay.
So, and then I would like make some furniture design or stuff. Then I would ask a carpenter or somebody to like put it together for me. I would upholster, you know, things that I know that I can do it. It's just that I needed somebody to be there to validate that I was doing the right thing. It was always like that. Like I wasn't confident enough.
Right. How did you discover glass though? And how did you decide now, okay, I'm gonna create?
Old
Sculptress.
age.
Tell us about it.
I was managing my business, pharmaceuticals business, and it got kind of boring for me because it was like running on its own already. And I was looking at this, you know, people who were retiring and taking up painting as something to get the boredom out of their lives. So I said, aside from, I don't remember if I was dancing already then, but it just wasn't enough. So I said, I want to do some art.
By the way, for those who don't know, Marge is a mean Latin dancer.
No, I'm just trying.
At her exhibit at Soler, she did a number and
I'm just dancing. I'm just dancing out of the enjoyment. Like I just want to enjoy it.
So what made you decide glass of all mediums?
Yeah.
That's not common.
Because glass is not. I cannot afford. I always like glass, to own a glass sculpture. Okay. And every time I would, like with my kids, even when they were younger, there were things that they wanted to buy from the store, but I thought I could make. So I was making costumes for them. I was making so they called me DIY mommy. And there was a running joke in the family that whenever we're outside shopping, my kids would say, I want to buy that. No, mommy's going to make it. She can do anything. So I like DIY everything. So I thought.
You told me once you wanted to buy an Ordina, but you couldn't afford it.
Yes.
So you decided, you know what? I'm gonna make.
Yes, but I didn't think of making it as a career.
I see.
So I said, I'll just make my own glass. That's why I'm talking to you about the DIY, because I've always been a DIY, so I might as well DIY, right?
Right. Sir Mon, by the way, is a good friend. I'm here with Marge.
Oh, he's a great inspiration to me also. I love this glass so much, but I know I can't afford it. So I said, okay, I'll just go. And by the way, Sir Mon is a collector of one of my glass
wonderful.
pieces also. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I've been to his museum.
He's a
there
big
in Tagaytay.
inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my work that he bought from me is already displayed in his museum in Tagaytay, because I went there before.
Awesome.
And they would give me free entrance also.
So what did you do? You decided to go into glass, and you did research, and you found out there was a school in Czech Republic?
No, in New York.
In New York,
Oh,
okay.
New York.
Tell us about it.
So I was thinking of, I researched about the glass schools in the US, because my friend Noel, he said if you want to do something really big and be different, you cannot find it here. Go elsewhere outside the country where you can learn something that you don't find here. So I did research, and I was having choices between Pilchuck in Seattle, which is also a very famous glass making school where the Chihuly Garden is located, and then Corning in New York. So those were my two choices at that time. So I ended up choosing Corning because I think Pilchuck was like too strange for me to go to. I've never been to Seattle before.
Saan malayo?
Mas malayo ang New York, but then mas familiar sa akin ang New York.
Naman.
So, and New York is New York, you know.
Right, the seat of arts.
That's where yung
the
mga
great museums, yeah.
hindi lang museum yung mga happenings at night, you know, you have nightlife there, you know. But I didn't realize that Corning was such a laid-back town, like an old movie set.
Where is that? Where is that?
It's up in upstate New York. It's like a 6-hour bus ride from the city. So I chose Corning. I applied in Corning, and the next year I was accepted in 2015. So I went there. It was really so much fun.
How long?
Sobra. Well, I was there for more than 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yes.
Okay, so it's like an intensive course.
It is. You start from 9 o'clock or 8:30 in the morning, and then I stay till like 12 midnight.
Okay.
It's like all day. So, especially for me, I was I think parang ano ako doon eh. Ano yun? Kakaiba kasi ako eh. I was the first Filipino who attended that school.
I can imagine, yeah.
So, parang novelty item. And I was like Miss Congeniality. I would go from one classroom to another, and everybody was my friend.
What does one learn in a class? Are you all studying to be sculptors, or what is?
A lot of them, especially in the US, there are so many glass crafters there. They make glass.
So not necessarily art, just being able to work with glass.
Glass blowers mostly. They use it as a means of livelihood. This is a job for them.
So things like creating glassware.
Yes. They also teach a Murano method of doing glass. They glass blowing, they have flame working, they have glass casting, everything. They have everything there because Corning Museum of Glass was the owner of Corning Ware, which makes Corel.
Oh,
This.
got it.
This is made by Corning, but then they sold it already because they put up their own glass manufacturing company, which is Steuben Glass. It's the U.S. version of Swarovski.
I see. Wow. I could just already imagine how far you're gonna go. You'll start with artwork, and then later on, it's gonna. Who knows, right?
Yeah, who knows?
Glassware. I mean, sky's the limit.
But you know, glassware is not here in the Philippines. It's not very appreciated as an artwork because they look at functional art is not very highly regarded. Like those are gifts from the mayor of Czech Republic where I went there. They became my friends. They loved me so much. They became my friends and they bought me presents to bring.
When did you go to the Czech Republic?
Last year,
So after
no,
Corning,
2018.
you had already been practicing.
Yeah, after Corning, I was already Corning 2015. Then I went back in 2016 as a scholar. I applied for scholarship and I showed them the works that I did and they accepted me based on my works, I guess. So I went there to study as a scholar and then in 2017 I took a rest. I was working a lot because I had solo shows in 2017. I think I had 2 solo shows and I had lots of group shows. But during that time, I was still thinking of applying in a different school because my teachers in Corning were Czech people. Czech people are like pioneers in glassmaking. They are the ones who started Bohemian glass and everything. And if you go to Czech Republic, it's like glass is a lifestyle for them. So my teachers, they advised me to go to Czech Republic to study. Not only, So, sabi ko, sige nga, mag-apply ako. And then in 2017, the late part of 2017, I got a letter from Kamenitsky Shenov, the oldest glassmaking school in the world, that they're accepting me to enroll. So I went there in 2018 for almost 2 months. Oh my God. It was like the hardest part of my glassmaking career. Because it was snowing when I went there. It's springtime, but snow was falling. And I'm not used to something like that. So I'd rather stay in a tropical country like this because I'm not cut out for snow.
Ano tayong lamigin?
Sobra. I think when you're like more mature, your skin is thinner already and we can no longer tolerate the cold. So my school was located like, it was like a 10-minute walk from my flat. I rented the flat. Not like Corning when we used to stay in a hotel because there's no flat to rent sa transient. So I rented the flat and on the first day, my teacher told me to walk to school. It's like 10 minutes walk. But look at the snow, I cannot. And I didn't have snow clothes. I just had Philippine boots and jacket. And I didn't realize that you had to put like jacket over jacket on top of each other, right? And the boots that I was wearing and the tennis shoes that I was wearing, parang pinapasok ng lamig sobra. And I cannot walk and I was too scared. So I asked my landlady to please drive me. It's just a 1-minute drive to my school. She said, it's only 10 minutes walk. It's only 5 minutes walk. Yeah, but I don't know how to walk in the snow. Oh my God, for like 2 days, I guess. And when I was like alone in my flat, I was crying because it's lonely and it's scary and I don't know what I'm gonna do. But in school, they were nice to me. There were kids. I had friends there already, and students there were like from Germany, from Poland, from Russia, from Czech Republic, like from all over
Ano
Europe.
naman ang inaral mo doon that you...
Glass casting naman. Yung piano, that's part glass casting. So I came up with the piano. That's my second official because that was my first official. And the others that I made in Czech Republic. Na sobrang bigat. That's why I had to send it through courier service. Kasi it doesn't, it's heavier than my luggage allowance.
I see.
Yun.
Wow. So you went through all of this. What was your first exhibit in the Philippines?
First exhibit ng glass.
Last of.
It
Where
was
that?
with I think it was with the Rotary Club Makati West sponsored Alay Sining.
Like how many pieces did you exhibit?
Those that I made in Corning.
Okay. Anong feeling? I mean,
Kasi-
were they for sale already?
Yeah, una, maliliit lang eh.
Okay.
Ang feeling when somebody bought my glass piece, oh my God, ang feeling ko talaga parang, uy, artist na ako. Di ba? Kasi a stranger is buying my
Yes.
glass piece.
Yes.
So I'll never forget that.
Do you remember that one piece?
Of course. It was called, the title is Regina's Treasure. It was purplish in color. My sorority is Regina, and my color is purple. So I called it Regina's Treasure. It's very nice. It's like a diamond glass piece, but it's small.
I noticed that you're really good with titles. Pinag-iisipan mong bawat sculptor. Tapos
It's part of the artist in you also.
Yeah.
I want to be poetic with my art. So
I'd like to know your process as an artist because you showed us the very technical side. Anong nauuna? Do you sketch? Do you have a vision? You sketch it out? Or what happens?
I would like to think that I am not that kind of an artist. I try. Even in my life, I don't plan. Everything just comes.
So you go into your studio, you have a block of glass,
Yes.
and you go at it?
Yes.
Hindi mo
Because
ini-sketch?
I tried to before. But every time I do that, I would like change my mind in the middle of the game.
I see.
So what's the use? So now what I do is I put the glass together, and then I think when they're glued together already, I look at it and I imagine what I can do with it. Or before I do like this coming solo show, I'm coming out with a different collection this time. So I did some sketches, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm
You'll
going to
follow.
follow the sketches. It is
Yeah.
just a guide for me so that I will know what I will be gluing together. So I just make them.
You improvise.
Mhm.
And then when do you know na ito na, tapos na siya?
Kasi sometimes I tried also to learn SketchUp so that
Yeah.
I know how the glass will be positioned. But the sparkle of the glass, you can only see when you're doing it na.
Yes.
So I look at it and I see where the brilliance will be enhanced. That's where I start cutting.
This is the most amazing thing about Marge's work is that you can look at the sculpture in all angles and it takes on a completely new form. I think that's what makes it so special.
That's why I thought of this idea of the.
Were you the one who designed that?
Yes. It's manufactured exclusively for me.
Yeah. So she has a pedestal that's lit from underneath and it revolves.
So that if you can put it in a corner and you don't miss any
Right.
angle
Right.
because it rotates. You just stand there and look at it
It
and
changes.
Yes.
It's like it's almost animated.
there was even a piece that I made like sayang. I didn't want to sell it. I just put it in an exhibit and it was sold. When it turns around, it looks like a waterfall. So parang niisip ko, can I do that again like in the future? It was one of my first early works.
Awesome. Yeah.
So that's why I put one beside the TV because it gives me it's an exercise for my eyes. Just looking at the TV and on the side you see the sculpture that's revolving in front of you, a lighted sculpture. It's like an eye exercise to take my attention, the stress from watching TV. I think, parang gawa-gawa ko lang siguro yun. But that's how I feel it.
Yeah.
So, yun, I always look, I don't get tired looking at the glass pieces that I make.
So you never looked at your artwork that someday I can make a mint out of this. I mean, because you're starting as an artist, you're starting to get stuff. I mean, you were declared already one of the top 5. So sooner or later, it's just gonna go up as more collectors come in. So did you even imagine that it would be?
No, I went there because I wanted to own a glass
Yeah.
piece that I don't have to pay so much money for it.
So how does it feel that it's coming? I mean, it has a life of its own. You are.
It's very overwhelming. I didn't even know that it was going to come this quick.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how many years have I been doing glass? Only since 2015, since 2016, because I went to school in 2015,
Right.
2016, and like only 3 years.
3 years, you're so established now.
And I have so many designs already that I never imagined I would be able to do.
Okay.
And this stem out from all my experimentations lang. But then, I find it boring to be too...
Perfect.
Yeah. Even in when I was still doing clay, I purposely like, sinusugatan ko talaga yung mga katawan ng tao, dinidistort ko. Because if it's perfect, just put it in a machine and it will just churn out the perfect makinis and everything. I didn't want to do that. So, same thing with my glass. No, I did that in 2016 with my teacher. And I made something really imperfect. And he told me that, yeah, if that's what you want to do, but don't tell anyone that you did it in my class. So I came back. When I came back here, I made it on purpose na talagang ginanong-ganon ko siya, pinuno ko siya ng bubbles like this one.
Okay.
It's even more difficult to put bubbles in it.
Where are the bubble? Where
Yan,
are the bubbles?
because
Ayun.
those bubbles are, when you put it under the light, it becomes like mirrors, small mirrors.
Yeah.
So it's even more difficult to do that because you have to come up with a certain temperature of the glue in order to come up with something like that. But then I like to mingle with people because that's where I get my inspiration.
Yeah.
When they talk about things, sometimes...
Who are the artists na kilala mo that you get along with? Are there some artists that you in particular like?
Marami naman, pero hindi yung parang super, because I'm new naman sa industry, no. There are female artists, mga tropa-tropa.
I see.
Although we don't like sit together, making kwento or going out together, having fun together. Wala akong ganun.
I'd like to organize that one time. Organize a dinner.
Oh, we
with some
tried.
artists.
But you know what? It's so hard to organize artists. Maniwala ka sa akin. We tried. I had a group of friends. We're still a group.
Yeah.
But we don't meet as often because not like before na. If you ask artists to come, normally it's either they come very late or they don't show up at all.
Okay.
So
Siguro the secret has to be keep it small. Not too many people.
small nga yun eh. Parang how many
Really?
are we lang? Parang 15 lang kami yata.
Oh, that's still big. I was
Or-
really thinking more about 4 artists so that everybody can talk properly.
Yeah, and I
So
take up
let
all
me
the
organize
time.
that.
I take up all the time talking. In all the groups that I join, I think I'm the one.
You're the talker.
Yeah, I monopolize all the
So you're the
conversations.
atypical artist. You're really extroverted.
Yes, I'm not like anybody else. I'm like so different.
Yeah. I've had artist friends who are really, really quiet and sometimes you wonder, are they enjoying? Pero they do. They do. Hindi na talaga sila masyadong maboka.
Kaya nga, sometimes when I meet artists, like there's for the galleries, usually they organize Christmas parties and some parties. And I meet some artists there. Some of them, they're not really madaldal talaga. They just look at you. Although, I don't know what they're thinking, but you know, if I see people like that, hindi na lang ako nakikipag-usap kasi I don't know what they're thinking.
Pero you know what?
about me.
Artists appreciate artists. I mean, they're artists, so they know good art when they see it. So yeah, I think there's a quiet mutual admiration that goes on.
So, wala. Ako kasi madaldal talaga ako. I go from table to table like I'm the host. And then, I close the party all the time. Like everybody else is gone, I'm still there making chika.
I noticed. Exhibit, anong oras na tayo natapos?
Oh! At least yung pa akin yun, na-exhibit ko yun. So okay lang na I'm supposed to be the last one to leave. But sometimes it's other people's
Ikaw pa rin.
party.
Ikaw pa rin. Are your kids, I'm sure they are, but I want to hear from you. How proud are your kids about what you've done? Are they like, do they even believe na nagawa mo na to?
No, I think they appreciate my work also, and they congratulate me a lot. Although it's not like, you know, like kids and parents, they don't usually, "Uy, mommy, ganda." Not really.
They're just there.
Yeah. But then, you know, but sometimes, like after the exhibits, oh, congrats, mommy, that's very successful. It was a nice show, parang something like that. Pero hindi yung parang araw-araw, wow, ang ganda, wow. Hindi yung parang araw-araw.
But your daughter is gonna pick it up.
Oh yes. She's very talented as well. She gives me ideas sometimes, but sometimes, you know, she goes overboard. parang she looks at something and she thinks that she's God. You know? Parang, posible pa rin, gagawa ako, mas mahirap pa dyan. Parang gano'n.
You.
Oo. Mas mahirap pa dyan. Hindi. Parang sabi ko, you start slow. Huwag mong madaliin yung sarili mo na. Because I have all the materials here. I can guide her very well. But what she studied in the US is different from what I studied.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's doing flame and kiln. Na small kiln. Kasi she'll be doing glass fusing.
Yeah.
Kaya lang, the materials that I bought when I went there last Christmas, they're not here yet. We sent through balikbayan box.
I see.
Kasi
A lot of artist kids are usually under a lot of pressure,
Sa parents
sa
nila.
parents nila, but your daughter doesn't seem that she seems to want to.
She's intimidating me actually.
It's the
I
other way
wonder there's a
around.
silent competition between the two of us.
Well, but how would you separate the different styles later on?
Oh, she should not be doing what I'm doing.
I see.
But she should know also what my technique, so that like in the future, I'm not here like forever, and somebody has to do something like this also and improve on it.
Yeah.
She should learn other techniques in glass making as well.
Yes.
Like I want to learn other techniques, but I want to focus on 1 or 2 techniques lang talaga, so that I don't like spread myself out too thinly and turn out to be a failure in the end, di ba?
Although may mga phases talagang artists, di ba? They have periods, what they call periods. Like, di ba? Like, there was the blue period of Picasso. So there are periods also. So just keep growing.
Yeah, that was like me too. At first, I was just like doing blocks, like pinagdidikit-dikit ko lang yung blocks. And then I moved up to something else. Then I incorporated colors and a lot of things. But then I'm not really into doing series. Kasi parang parang it's too programmed. I want to be more spontaneous. So whenever an idea comes up, I just do it.
Go for it. Yeah.
Not because, unless the gallery will ask me to, like, let's stick to this for now because we would like to show like this designs that you made, and then come up with another, like if you have new ideas, then we'll do all of those.
Yeah.
Parang ganon. That's why it feels so good if you're not bound by any limitations.
Yeah.
Like this Soler, I just put anything I wanted there. But that one thing common in my works in Soler was the colorful works.
Yes, it was beautiful.
Yeah, just because I like colors. I
Yeah.
like, just like my life, is very colorful. So that's what
So
comes
that's a
out.
completely new chapter. That'd be another hour show, wouldn't it?
Like, look at my walls, like it's full of colors. Those are my works also.
Pang mosaic, no?
Oh, marami akong mosaic dyan, minusaic yan. That one over there is recycled CDs. Yung frozen, yeah, it's recycled CDs.
For those who can't see, her pool area is covered with mosaic. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was like tiles.
I cut them up. When I processed them, I baked them.
Oh.
It turned into like glass tiles, maliliit. I painted inside and I sandwiched the paint, and then I baked, and then that's how it became. And then I designed a frozen wall. That's Elsa and Anna, right?
Oh.
And the snowman.
Yeah.
Ang hirap gawin ng palda niya, ha? Nilagyan ko ng mga sunflowers.
I'll shoot that later para kita na what it's about. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a lot. Are you
Yeah, even upholstered my own headboard.
Oh.
And if I have like a chance to make some upholstery, my daughter's asking, Mommy, I want a tufted headboard. Okay, we'll make that. We're not going to buy. We're making it.
DIY ka nga.
Oh. Costumes ko sa Halloween. I also make my costumes from scratch. You want me to show you one?
Yeah.
Maleficent.
I want another
It's
one.
please.
I want another one,
Ito to mas maganda yata ito. But
Yeah, I like it toasty.
It's all.
I like it toasty actually.
Sure ka?
I'll get later that.
Here, you get that.
Because it's easy for me to make anytime I want. Samantalang kayo. We don't eat that every day.
Are your kids here? Are your kids here?
Yeah, all my kids live here except my second child is in the US. He lives there.
What does he do?
He's a nurse. Oh my God, he's the best artist in the family. He can
Artist?
paint. He can paint beautiful paintings. He can draw.
Siya may gawa nito?
Ito siyang may gawa niyan. Meron siyang mga ibang mga paintings na ginawa, yung Paway Church. When he was only like 12 or 10 years old, I hired an artist to come and teach them here kasi ano yata itong mga batang ito eh. Mga anti-social. A costume I made from scratch.
Wow.
The horns. Rib pa siya.
Oo.
May ribbing pa. Oh. In character.
Hopefully.
Oh, di ba? I made it out of yung plastic cups and newspaper
Are you serious?
and electrical tape. Oh. I'll show you son. Come. Mayabang talaga ako eh.
And these are really nice costumes. Oh my
Diba?
God.
Authentic yung
That is
costume ko.
awesome.
Okay, well, we really enjoyed the afternoon. Thank you so much for the tour.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for listening to my blah blah.
giving us a peek into your life. Thank you for being so open.
Of
And
course.
I wish you nothing but, well, you already have success, but another level. Another level.
Thank you so
And
much.
another exhibit, maybe it's there soon.
Yeah, I hope
Let's
so.
talk
Next year
about
na.
it. Next year. Next year na.
So I'm
Right.
having 2 big solos pa.
Okay.
And I'm going to study in Corning again.
So after you come back from Corning, how about that?
This year I'm going to Corning
So next year.
with my daughter. She's
Sakto. Well, we can even do a mother-daughter if you want.
in the future.
Yeah.
Next year na.
Yeah, next year. For sure.
Yes, sure.
Alright.
I love Soler. It's like, the people who guard the place, the security guard, they say that it has attracted a lot of
Oh, yes.
people to go to that side. It has become like a photo photo booth for
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
They go there to take pictures
Yeah.
with the glass
Yeah.
and I'm happy naman na kahit papaano
You were introduced to that public.
yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people's comments, they say that they never knew that there was another glass artist.
Now you know.
So kulang,
Now you know.
kulang pa.
Don't forget the name, Marge Organo. So, and one day, have a sculpture on your table like that.
Yes.
Okay.
But last bit.
Yes.
For the young ones, Tito, what would be your piece of advice for rising artists or young artists or people who want to get into art in general?
Yeah, just like me, I'm an accidental artist. So my advice for the youth and for females like me who are this age, just go for it. Like, don't think twice. If you feel like you want to do something, especially in the arts, you will never realize how satisfying it is to be doing art. It's freedom. For me, art is freedom. So if you want freedom, go for the arts.
We're back from the visit with Marge Organo. What did you get out of that, son?
Oh, it was such an inspiring visit. Tita, thank you. She basically just told all the young artists out there to, get out there and just do whatever you want. Never stop learning. And, if you're thinking about doing something, don't even hesitate. Don't think about it. Just go.
Yeah, well, what I learned, because I always tell Richard that I used to paint as a youngster and I'd like to go back to it, but I never do it. So my take home from Marge today is that just go at it. When you feel something, go at it. Don't overthink.
Yeah.
Gawin mo lang and you'll achieve a lot of things. So Marge, thank you so much for having us. And the best thing about that visit is getting a piece of you. And so, ta-da!
Of course.
got us a piece of Marge Organo. Take a look. It's like unfolding or unwrapping a Christmas gift. And here it is. Through the open door, a Marge Organo masterpiece has found a home. Look at it. It's amazing. Along with the other great artists.